Well, it means so much to me. It was a very exciting time. The Inter Dominon was the pinnacle of all the races that you tried for, and it was very important that you had the good horses were right at their peak at that time, because there were so many good horses, and because the carnival run in a short distance over, you had 3 nights of heats and then the final. So the owner-trainer of Gammalite, Leo O'Connor, he always took him into the Inter Dominon slightly underdone, so that he continued to improve as the carnival went forward, and he was at his peak on grand final night.
2 champion pacers, Popular Alm and Gammalite, dominated Australian trotting in the early 80s. The pair clashed 15 times in Australia and New Zealand, with Poppy claiming a 13-2 advantage. Gammalite first lowered Popular Alm's colours in the 1980 South Australian Derby at Globe Derby Park, when Popular Alm was sensationally backed from 33-1 to 9-4 second favouritism at his first start for Bob and Vin Knight. The other occasion was the $180,000 Inter Dominon final at Alexandra Park, Auckland in 1983.
Yeah, our arch rival, Popular Alm, he mightn't have enjoyed the carnivals as much as Gammalite did, because as we got closer to the final, we were getting closer to Popular Alm all the time, until such time as we saw in New Zealand he was able to beat him. Gammalite had won all the major races across Australasia, and he was a horse that had won 26 cups, and they were major cups, but he still needed the Inter Dominon to put on top of all that. He was champion not only because of his ability, but because of his iron constitution, that he could travel all over Australasia and still perform at his best. We used to take 2 horses to work with him. One horse did the first part of the trial, and the second horse did the second part of the trial, and that's so he showed that iron constitution right at the start. And Gammalite was a horse that never stopped trying. He tried right to the line, and even when the chips were against him, he still tried and tried, and many times he came up trumps.
Graham Reeks is giving Ben every chance of the 1-1 down the inside is El Regale. Delightful Lady travelling well, and so is Barney's Chance. Down on the inside of those Terang Girl, they're followed by T-Pookie Expects and My and Wandi's made at the rear. They're 1,000 metres out in the grand final, and Popular Alm is still the leader. More pace on now with a length and a quarter. Gammalite on the outside. Gammalite is still facing.
Gammalite had drawn barrier 2, and Popular Alm had drawn 1, and we made a plan beforehand that many of the races we raced outside the horses, but we decided beforehand that we were going to do the best we could. We knew that Popular Alm was a fast beginner, and we had an opportunity to get in behind him, and we were trailing through, and Popular Alm over there had a tendency to run off the track as he came up the home straight, and we would get the run up the inside. But having said that, when it got to the final corner, I couldn't wait any longer for the gap to open, so I went to Popular Alm's outside, but as it prevailed, Gammalite was too strong for him on this occasion, and he saluted.
Popular Alm. Gammalite goes out after him now, about 3 lengths away. Delightful Lady through on the inside is Gammalite. Popular Alm running around is Gammalite. He takes the lead from Popular Alm. Delightful Lady finishing well, but she's far too. Gammalite, Popular Alm, Delightful Lady and Gammalite. But Gammalite just won the final. Popular Alm is second, Delightful Lady third. On the inside is Gammalite, they're followed by Ben. Further back then we saw T-Pookie Expects and Rain Girl, they're followed by Dundas.
Never forget any of it. I could name all the parts of it. It was just a great ride for the time. The horse won 94 races, and so he won 50% of his starts, so you can imagine what sort of a ride it was like. And he was so tough that you could drive him any way you wanted to. You could pull out 2 laps from home, you could do whatever you wanted with him, because he had so much ability, and he just overcame them. So it wasn't a matter of how well you drove him, it was how many mistakes you made, because he just overcame them all. Wonderful memories of an Inter Dominon. The whole family was involved in it, what he left behind. The people that owned Gammalite invested their money into land, and it grew from one thing to another. It was just a wonderful achievement.
Oh, he's a homegrown product. We bred him, we owned his mother, his brothers and everything, and he was a part of the family. He was the 9th child virtually.
It's a very exciting opportunity for Victorian harness racing. We must all get behind this and support it. It's so important. This is our chance.